These folks are up on the mountain. They're Hawaiians. They're protesting the construction of a monster telescope on the top of a sacred mountain, Mauna Kea. People I know have asked, should we go up there with those folks? And most of them who are not Hawaiian said, gee, maybe we better leave this to Hawaiians. Maybe the Hawaiians don't want a bunch of white folks and Orientals and Indians and all kind of... I don't know. I think the Hawaiians are doing a wonderful job. I stand with these people. You should too. It's time to start calling folks that can make a difference. Because this is a monster. And here's the thing. There's $1 billion error. Why are they putting it on a mountain? Kepler space-based telescopes get much, much better accuracy and resolution. This is a monster. It's like they start building little ones and take part of the mountain and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And this is all because of a lot of PhDs and physicists. Now here's the difference. That most of this is actually funded by the Defense Department. They like telescopes on the ground because if push comes to shove, it's easy to knock down, orbiting telescopes and things up in space. So they want telescopes on the ground, okay? Because they may be used for nefarious purposes by the Department of Defense down the road. These flags that you see are oftentimes, they're upside down. Many protesters. I saw a truck yesterday down at Magic Sands with a flag on it. It was upside down, which upside down flag means this nation, whatever is represented by the flag, is in trouble. Now, this 180-foot high monster telescope is going to cost a lot of money. It's going to look horrible on a sacred mountain. It's not done for humanitarian purposes. All that money, where's it come from? Who are the people doing this, etc., etc.? Most physicists, Sheldon on okay, most physicists spend their lives teaching physics. I took the best of the courses at UC Berkeley. I was a science major. I got my fill of physics. They go you right away. They're into the bomb. They're into, the electrons and the atoms and a whole bunch of things that physicists normally either work at universities or for defense projects for the Department of Defense or for corporations that have big grants from the Department of Defense. Enough is enough. That money should have been spent on the homeless people here in Hawaii. That money should have been spent to retrieve the lands for Hawaiians that they've been promised all these years. Anyway, if Hawaiians said so, I think all the rest of us besides Hawaiians should go up there and support those people. They're being arrested. Got to stand their ground. This is part of the wonderful and difficult eclipse. This what happened in downtown Kona on the night of the eclipse, Friday night. Hawaiians were down there. Everybody in the town agrees with the Hawaiians. Total support, a spontaneous uprising of activists. Wonderful, wonderful. Jupiter trining Uranus. Wish I was out there with them. Wish I was up on the mountain. Yeah. I would go if I could. Yeah, here's a snapshot from the same person. Thank you, Michael Frost. and it's a little more clear. And this is Monday. On Sunday, on Easter Sunday, more people got arrested up on the mountain. And some folks are hoping that because of the Merry Monarch over there, we're going to see more Hawaiians from off-island support these people and get up there and do it. I'd only say to the wonderful Hawaiians that If you need help, say so. Yeah, there's a lot of people that would go if they knew they were welcome. They want to go up there and clog all the roads, and the Hawaiians not want the help. Anyway, there's only so many spaces in the jail. Don't be afraid of jail. It's nothing. Aloha. Rollin Frost here, Kona Astrologer. We're going to do program 959, covering the last week in April, third week in April. An interesting month. I'm back here on the 6th, so things are just happening here all of a sudden, spontaneously. A lot of really neat stuff has popped up. I'll get to some of that later. But for now, well, let's get to the job at hand. We want to get some details on your next week, so you'll see what's going on. And first of all, you're on a Pluto station. Now I'm sitting back here on the old Jupiter station. Remember the Sky Mirror last couple weeks? Jupiter was, there it was. That was 256. And then 257, or 957, and then 958. See how big Jupiter was? Well, it's smaller now, see? But Pluto is big. This is his real symbol. It's a circle of spirit, non-physical things. Over the crescent of people, these are fleshed beings and feelings. Yeah, over the cross of matter. So Plutonian people care about spirit, non-physical stuff, the law, love, the ethics, the things you can't see are really important. He puts those first. Over people. But he puts people over money, the cross of matter. So there's your ideal policeman. The law. So I try to picture that. Tried to make this a little volcano here, see? Yeah. Because, we joke a lot about Pluto and say, eek, a bug. But, it's stationing 6:30 p.m. In other words, if you're watching the 7 p.m. show on Thursday, half an hour ago it stationed exactly. And it's useful to feel the vibes of Pluto. There could be all sorts of things going on. Sometimes it just turns loose the crocodile thing. But eek, a bug, flight or fight. But it's not that simple. You have a very sophisticated crocodile at the base of your brain. It's analytical. It dives into things. Yeah, they all have a Pluto Scorpio kind of flavor. Interesting. Spiritual things. Yeah, things in the underground. Ancient science has a lot to say about this. In fact, most of the Pluto things that we tend to think are bad, like shit, oh, that's Pluto, oh, terrible. Actually, it's really sterile and food and things and should be recycled. Pluto, oh, snakes, a cobra, oh, terrible. Cobras help with the rat population. Pluto is a very tricky customer. He scares you at first, when you first see the bug or the rat or the policeman in your mirror. But Sherlock Holmes, huh? Yeah, he has a lot of very useful talents. He dives deep into things, I got things I dive into that are very Plutonian. What's in the underground? Are there demons? Are there ghosts? Are there spirits of ancestors? Pluto's really into this kind of stuff. It isn't just vampires and zombies, Anyway, there's a lot of depth, deep diving, I call it, going on in this week. And you're on it right now. So this is the time to learn about Pluto. He recycles things, by the way. This is, you'll get ideas of how to recycle stuff that's amazing. And, this idea of 180 foot telescope. Anyway, Pluto, the worst is mass death, nuclear bombs. Where are they? Who controls them? You know, this is also stuff like Guantanamo Bay. Anyway, it's on the news. Iran, we're going to stop Iran from getting a bomb. Oh, we gave 150 to Israel. Well, man, you should give them 150. Come on. Either this is guns. See, this is not just policemen. Although when they were out in the street doing that wonderful rally, the same time a couple of police issues came up. A policeman accidentally shot somebody in a bar, and another policeman ran over somebody on a bicycle, all within a day. So you're going to see this police thing, of course. Well, squaring Uranus, they catch this stuff on the video. So if you're a policeman, just pretend you're on video all the time. Probably are. It's certainly a problem for people doing power and control, but it's also for exploring. Yeah. And Uranus here, oh boy, he gets the trine from Jupiter, and he hasn't had a break for a while, because Pluto's been squaring Uranus for a while. So the new thing, there's an Apple Watch coming out that everybody's lining up for. That's Uranus. You can get the app on that watch, you know. Yes, the astrology app. SkymareAstrology.com. Get you the app description. $10. Can't beat it. Press a button. You got the chart of now in your location, wherever you are. I mean, I want one of those watches. So, things just stepped up. The more Aquarian. People are getting together more. We'll see what blossoms on the mountain. What Aquarian spirit. It's like a union, you know. All these guys are all different, and they join the union. And once they get together, ooh, look out. All the sailors on the German battleships stopped the war. All the sailors on the American aircraft carriers stopped the war. All the coal miners stopped all the steel workers. It's anyway, I love Uranus, and he's getting great stuff done right now. Let's take a look at this day by day, okay? We got the pattern of planets here. Venus has been having trouble. Your love life and pleasure life. Supposing Saturn squaring Neptune, you're not quite sure. This might be pinup girl time, and might be that, you know, everybody's trying to crave sweets and not getting much. It's confusing, isn't it? Well, we're going to run the moon around the edge, and as it moves through here, makes angles to these other actors on the stage, these planets, these ancient gods. If you're on a thirsty show, you know, in the morning there was a trine to Saturn. It's pretty nice. And in the evening, you know, here's a nice thing to Venus, a sextile to Venus. So, you know, it's a nice thirsty night. And when Pluto's stationing, oh boy. So dive deep on Thursday, especially around 6:30. Your mind will just be filled with Pluto stuff. Don't watch zombies on TV. Jeez. The deaths per minute with a gun. You know, you look at the zombie movies. It's the highest blood spattered shot per minute than you ever before. That's Pluto. Well, here you are Friday. And on Friday, starts kind of poorly. The moon goes by the south node about 6 a.m. We all feel like we need help. Yep. And then, here before lunch, or around the middle of the day, it starts with problems with Pluto. Well, first of all, there's the old eclipse. Comes in at 14 degrees, so that's here about lunchtime, just before lunch. And then after lunch comes the sudden power and control issues with you-know-who up here. Power and control, territory, deep diving. So Pluto kicks in here, you know, after lunch. And Uranus comes in a little bit later, where it gets zappy and you feel alone and there's sudden changes going on. So this is your Freaky Friday, and you know, it could be interesting things. Uranus is producing a lot of stuff. There's stuff on UFOs and aliens, and they got some signals from somebody that just got published. They're starting to shout, there is intelligent life. Look, somebody published a paper, some guy in Europe. Anyway, it'll be a day of Uranus. The moon's going by there. You want to gear yourself to common sense and the union of humanity and environmental stuff, and what, you know, ancient sciences work, folks. All the ancient sciences work. Just the arrogance of the modern scientist. So what ticks me off about astronomers is that they took and put their name, astronomer, over all the great men that have done all the great inventions who were astrologers. And they threw out astrology and put in, you think, you know, Ben Franklin was an astronomer. No, he was an astrologer. You think Kepler was an astronomer. No, he was an astrologer. Lavoisier was an astrologer. Anyway, I don't want to go on, but that's why I have ill feeling about astronomy. Guys peeping through tubes at the sky, because they have usurped, you know, the honor due real astrologers. Enough. Friday is herky-jerky. You'll feel isolated. You could have power and control problems. And there's some lunacy here. It starts early. Yep. Real early. So don't relax too much here Thursday night, even though it seems like you should. Saturday, the 18th, the moon's still in Aries. You're going to feel a little zappy right through till the middle of the day. And then it changes. The moon goes into Taurus, and it suddenly feels a lot better. Here before lunch, there's a conjunction to the sun. That's the new moon right here. New moon Saturday morning. It's not bad. It's at 28 Aries. So it's not making hard angles to anything. I'd use it to start new things and be with people you want to be with and things. It's a good new beginning. It's in Aries. That's a nice sign. Gives you a lot of energy. So, you know, be with somebody you like and start new projects. At least plan them out. Make your plans Saturday, huh? And early in the morning Sunday, well, here's the sextile to Neptune. There's music. There's religion. There's I love Easter because stuff comes out, and you know about the three wise men and Jesus. And a lot of it, of course, is massacred by Christians, Jews, Muslims, but there's some truths there, and you gotta love Jesus. He wrote it down. They wrote it down. So that's our Saturday night late. It's really about 1 o'clock in the morning or so when the sextile to Neptune's exact, and Mercury's there. So it's a good time to sing the praises, read poetry, you know, talk about religion, art, music. Not bad. It gets a little overdone here by the time you get to the middle of the day. There's a square to Jupiter. Oh, it's too much, you know, and the conjunction to Mars, aggressiveness. So maybe that's just a hell of a lot of sports and people yelling too much. It's kind of the way it looks. You'd like to get something done here, because as the moon goes by Mars, right here, it trines Pluto. And you can start the physical job that you started planning, you know, back when Pluto stationed last Thursday. Got some new ideas? Want to start something? Here's the time to really, you know, the alarm bell goes off. Ring! It's the starting bell. Go do something Plutonian. Sunday afternoon, Sunday middle of the day. The feeling goes on. If you're doing good and not overdoing it, then you can work right through till Monday afternoon, till the moon slips into Gemini and things start to slow down here. There's an opposition to Saturn late Monday night. This is about 10 o'clock. And on 420, the pot day, special day 420 for medical marijuana maybe. But here we're not happy because there's restrictions. The lawyer, the judges and the politicians, Saturn, you know, nobody likes Saturn very much here and there. Saturn is moving to the square to Neptune. And here's the square to Neptune. It's early Tuesday morning. What, politicians and doctors made a deal and they're going to take all the money from medical marijuana. Look out. So it's confusing, and hopefully they're insecure enough not to really try to make serious laws. And it's, you know, you got to watch yourself Monday night right through Tuesday, middle of the day, because you're not quite sure what you're doing. And here's this moon goes by Venus. You're going to want to get some pleasure and some fun here Tuesday morning, preferably without alcohol, the really bad drug. And here's the Jupiter trining Uranus, and it comes in on you Tuesday, the 21st. So here's a time of freedom and brotherhood and new ideas and new high-tech stuff. Get the watch, get the SkyMirrorAstrology.com, get the app, and put it on your watch and start playing with astrology. That's what we need to do now. Yes, next 2,000 years, you got to retrain people in astrology. Well, nice Tuesday. I like it. I'd sleep late, even though there's bad smells around. Moon in Gemini continues through Wednesday the 22nd till after dinner, and the moon shifts into Cancer. Early Thursday morning there's a sextile to the sun, and you're going to feel pretty good about your projects and what you're doing. There's a trine to Neptune Thursday that feels pretty good too. Inspiration to get out and continue the physical work. You know, Mercury's there. Let's go do something physical with the kids and fly the colors and play the music. So there's a lot of that feeling here. A lot of inspired activity too. Fly the flag, go up and join the protesters on the mountain. But look out, because here we got the moon in Cancer, and in the middle of Cancer, there he is, the opposition to Pluto. Eek, a bug. Eek, a policeman. Eek, plutonium. Eek. What's the catchword now? Terrorist. Used to be bombers and anarchists and communists and terrorists. Geez. What'll be next after terrorists, I wonder. So, but you're going to get full bore here Thursday night, Friday morning. Shit's going to happen. And you'll feel kind of isolated and a little bit shocky Thursday night, Friday morning, the 24th, moon in Cancer. Because of that eclipse, it squares at 14 degrees. So that's no fun. 14, let's see, 10, 14's right here. So there's where the lunacy really kicks in. It's Thursday. I'll be dinner time around then, after dinner. Oh well, getting used to it, huh? This herky-jerky Fridays. Friday morning won't be exactly normal because the internet's out. Our electricity, or you're isolated or something. Kind of wears off as you go through Friday and you get closer to Saturday morning when the moon shifts into Leo and everything settles down. Here Saturday morning is a trine to Saturn. During breakfast you get a plan together, you feel responsible, your budget's set, timing's good. Saturday night though, there's a square to the sun and you got to hold off on some of the plan. Won't quite work, but it's not a huge obstacle. On the 25th. On the 26th, Sunday, you start with a beautiful conjunction to Jupiter and a trine to Uranus. Sunday morning. Oh boy. You know, new high-tech stuff, new truths, new wisdoms, new gadgets. Just think about what the cell phone has done to police brutality in our country, which I've taken for granted. I grew up in Oakland, you know, with Hells Angels and Black Panthers and hippies from Berkeley and all those Oakland police on their Harleys and leather, and they're famous. Anyway, another story for another time. Oh, running out of time. I always have too much planned. Anyway, this is the most important thing. We're talking about religion last week and the propaganda of one God and all of that. Well, all the ancient religions that I know of said a similar thing. To meet the Father, that's the Son, first you have to go and meet Mother. So you got to get the acquaintance telepathically with Mother Mary, like Catholics, yeah, and then he'll introduce to the Father. So this runs through all the ancient cultures. The moon. Yes, I gave you the no shadow times to meet the sun, and I realized, you know, the moon. Whoa! You can't just go and up. Where is it? There it is. So I did some work, and the moon goes to 18 degrees. It's particularly active on the Big Island. And as you go further north, it's a little less strong, but it comes to the no shadow place April 22nd at 4:14 p.m. You want to meet Mother? Okay, set up a chair someplace and pretend your grandmother or your mother or just Mother Mary sitting there, put some flowers in it, sit down under the tree. It's best to be by yourself, okay, so you can talk out loud. I find if I just sit there and start talking like it was my deceased mom, well, Mother Mary comes to me, just like the Beatles say, okay? And in your lifetime, you know, every 30 years you'll have a spontaneous meeting with Mother. But this is when she's most accessible. It's when she's directly overhead, and you get that no shadow effect that the moon has. There's another one coming up. Might as well note it down. May 19th, May 20th. May 19th it comes in at 1:59, and on May 20th at 2:56. Further south on the Big Island you go, the stronger it is. But look, this is right upon you now, the 22nd. Get off your duff. Go meet your mother. You got nothing to lose and everything to gain. Everything to gain. Can't resist. What kind of day is it? Wednesday. Moon's in Gemini, 6:30. Anyway, it's a clear day. There's not a lot of angles here on the 22nd. Meeting your mother could be a very pleasurable event at the end of your day. And there is a sextile to Neptune. And the sun the next day, it's a good chance you could have one of those big religious experiences. Once you tap into Mother, telepathic now, no words. It's like talking to dogs and cats and babies. And Wednesday the 22nd, 6:30. Okay, start 5-10 minutes early. Peaks out then. Stay a little bit later. Get in touch with Mother. You're the great Mother. Yeah. Once you do, you'll be much happier in your life. Okay, here's a minor miracle. 20 years, never had the astrology program in the newspapers. They changed it all, and there it is. For the first time, you'll see astrology on the TV schedule. Hooray!